So the role of the manager and the role of the group manager, we've just had a look through this, and it's been fantastic working with Mark and with Melanie, with Janine, and looking at, well, what is the role of the group manager? Look, at the end of the day, the role of the group manager is to run a fun meeting, to run the meeting and have fun. And we've put fun down the bottom, but the role of the group manager is to run the meeting and have fun. And then there's a few suggestions about what makes a good meeting and what makes a meeting tick. So our suggestion for the role of the group manager is that the night before, go online and print off from Google Sheets the sheet about your group that you're going to run. And in that sheet, any apologies that we've had, Janine, Melanie or I will have updated the sheet with the apologies. So sometimes when Janine sends out the text, Janine, thank you for sending out the reminder text. Is that working well for everyone? The reminder text? Isn't it fantastic? Sometimes they reply to those texts and we will update that sheet. So you might not know about an apology. Does everybody know how to have access to Google Sheets in that document? Okay, if anyone's having a problem, my business cards are there, let's have a chat about it. But that's probably the thing to do before the meeting is to print that out. And then when a visitor becomes financial, there's another clue on that sheet that they've been moved from a visitor into the members category. So that means that they've paid their money, and they're now, if they're still down in visitors, guess what? They might have had best intentions to join, but they haven't paid the money. So they'll move up. Be responsible for the stationery box. So each group manager has a box, and it's got the name badges, and it's got the meeting forms, and there's one under in my blue folder there. Yep. Okay. So the stationery box, name card holders, business card folders. By the way, you saw the business card folders on the table in front of you? Rebranded. Nice. Woohoo! Yeah. The networking group. You're welcome to take 4 or 5 of those with you today. We don't anticipate swapping out all of the old ones, but they're there, and as I say, you're welcome to take some of those with you today, and I'll get back to those. The role of the area group manager is to arrive 10 minutes early. Sorry, the group manager, both actually, yeah, both, yeah. But the role of the group manager and the area group manager, arrive early. Now, our meetings kick off at 7 a.m. and they kick off with stand-up networking. So the meeting proper starts at 7:10. And we have one feedback form saying, oh, the meeting didn't start on time. Well, the visitor didn't realise that the meeting's due to start at 7:10. But that first 10 minutes of networking is really, really valuable. And if you're standing up networking, then you can meet and greet everybody as they come. And that's what you should be doing. You should be shaking hands and smiling with everybody as they arrive at the meeting and making sure that you've spoken to everybody. And the other members should be doing that same thing. So arrive early. I had one meeting last week where people were still rolling in at 7:25. How's that work? I know the traffic's bad. I know parking's bad. But hey, we just need to get organised. If we're going to do this, going to have fun, at least you arrive on time. And I was late this morning. Sorry, the attitude. But you know, try and be there early. Prepare for the meeting and run as the agenda. Now, we've also updated the agenda, which is another piece to go around and replace in the book. We've just gone through and made a few fine-tuning and a bit of fine-tuning on it. There's no major changes to the agenda. But the agenda says if we start the meeting at 7:10 and we run through the agenda and we keep people on track, and you group managers, part of running a fun meeting is to keep the meeting on track and not let it drift off to the economic situation in China or whatever somebody else wants to take it off to. You know, you need to at times pull it back in. And if we do that, we can get through and close the meeting around the 8:15, 8:20. And again, we've got great time then. Some people need to scoot away, but there's a great time then to sit and have another cup of coffee and do some more networking. So I won't run through all of the role of the GM, but we've just really updated the first few points in there. Some of them are the same, and some of them are quite similar for the area group manager role. The area group manager has a couple of other responsibilities. Now, some of us are using a member listing form in our meetings, and it's in the black book towards the back. It's the one that's got all the names of the members and their contact details. And that, yep, that one. I think that's a valuable form, especially when our groups are growing to 12, 15. Paul, what's your aim to get your group to?
Oh, I got
20? 17, 20. If I'm listening to 17 or 20 60-second presentations, how, when I stand up and leave that meeting, do I remember them all? Well, my little brain works by writing down notes. So that form is designed to be able to write down a note. This is the sort of referral that Clinton was looking for, so that I've got something to take with me and I can remember that. So some people do print those out, some people don't print those out, but it's a useful form at the meeting, and for that form, it's really the role of the area group manager to print that out and provide it at the meeting. As the name badges, I mean, name badges, we don't need to print them out that often, but when there's new members or when we know about visitors, then please, area group managers, just go through, check the form the night before, print out some name badges, make sure that the visitors have got an official name badge. Because if you're a visitor coming along to a business network group, you're going to have a level of anxiety, right? But if you're welcomed, and that's the use of the visitor form, explaining how the meeting's going to run, being introduced to a couple of other meetings, and having a badge there waiting for you, it lowers your anxiety level as a visitor, and therefore improves the whole experience of the visit. And what a visitor's all about? It's about making sure that they have a fun time and they want to join. So
everybody knows, just cover off that orange bit at
okay,
the top there.
yeah, thank you. So everybody's seen our visitors form, and I have run through this a couple of times, but we've got some new people in the room, and this orange bar across the top of the visitor form is really important. As I say, a visitor coming along to a group is going to have a level of anxiety. So if you just hand them a form and say, hey, fill this out and I'll pick it up after the meeting, you haven't actually done anything to lower their anxiety. They're thinking, oh, I didn't know I'd have to fill in a form and I don't have a pen, so you've raised their level of anxiety. But if you use this form to say, hey, have you been to business networking before? Oh, okay, great, you've had some experience. Our group is similar to other business networking groups, and yet it's different as well. Here's what's going to happen over the next 3/4 of an hour. We do stand-up networking for a start, and then so-and-so runs the meeting, Jeffrey runs the meeting, and we'll all sit down. You will have, maybe you haven't been told, but you're welcome to have a tea or coffee, or there's breakfast there. It's your option if you want breakfast. But then the meeting will be called to order. We're going to go around the table and everybody gets a chance to talk about their business. Now, if you feel comfortable doing that when it comes to you, fantastic. If you don't feel comfortable, that's okay. Don't worry about it. Just pass to the next person. But in that time to talk about your business, you'd probably say something like, hi, I'm Garth Partridge. My business is Ignite Your Business. I'm looking for business owners aged between 50 and 70 years old to help them help improve the value of their business when they exit their business. And you might say something about your business like that. Then we have one of our members does a 10-minute presentation, and today's presentation is going to be done by so-and-so. We then go around again and there'll be some meetups and referrals, and at the end there may be some announcements. So that's what's going to happen over the next 45 minutes. And that just puts people at a bit more at ease. They've been anxious about coming to a meeting, a group of professional businesses, and here am I, little Joe, with my one-man band, and I'm going to come in. Well, you know, we're all one-man bands. We're all little Joes. Welcome. Come and have a great time. Come and have fun with us. So forms for the sake of having forms, no. It's about using the form and making sure that the visitors are getting a great experience, because we had one visitor tick the form, were they welcomed at the meeting, and they ticked no. Now, I happened to be at that meeting, and when they arrived, they were met basically on the footpath by one of our members, who took them over and shouted them a coffee and then came and introduced them to other members. And when Melanie rang, they said, oh, I must have ticked the wrong box. It was really fantastic. But yeah, they're anxious. They're not always looking at what they're doing, right? The other part of the form is just say to them, hey, and there's some details here. We just need to collect your contact details, make sure we've got everything right. We're always looking to improve the networking group. So there's a couple of areas down there. If you've got any suggestions about how we could improve, that's fantastic. There's some options for joining. This is your first visit, so you don't need to make a decision today, but there are options for paying off the membership, and you will be getting a phone call just as a follow-up and just to make sure that you've, if there's any more feedback from us. And Melanie does that.
Can we just cover off how many visits people are allowed?
Oh, yeah, we'll do that later. Okay, yeah, cool. Okay, so the role of the area group manager and the role of the group manager, we've just tried to clarify those, and then we've just changed a few things in the agenda. And for those of you who don't have black books, we'll get that updated for you. So, okay, everybody okay with that? Jamie?
Quick question we may not have sometimes, Carolyn. So if we're printing out these,
Yes.
Can the GMs do that?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, sure.
Everything that you're looking at is all on Google Drive, so it's all accessible to you. Pretty much all of it, I think now. It's all accessible. So if you just email Melanie, she'll sort out if you're not connected on Google Drive. You can print anything. You can print your visitors forms. You can do everything. So it's all there sitting for you. You just have to get in and have a look around. If you're not on Google Drive, just contact Melanie and she'll sort it for you.
Really good point, Jamie. This is about the flexibility. You know, if it works best for you as the group manager to print those things out, well, just let your AGM know, your area group manager know, and and get on with it and do it. But yeah, that's flexibility. That's all about. Okay. Anything else, anyone? That's all cool.